Hello! So we're going to make our marinara sauce. Today we're making lasagna, but this sauce also works for spaghetti and surprisingly soup. I've taken the leftover sauce, added a couple of cans of vegetables to it and a little bit of water, and it makes a wonderful vegetable soup. So it's a good base to start with for a lot of different things. If you'll notice, I have a little bit of water in the bottom of my pan. You want almost enough to cover it, but not a lot, or you're going to boil down your meat and you don't want that. Set your temperature to medium heat. Medium, maybe medium a little bit high. On my stove, it goes from low to high and then has numbers from 2 to 8. I put it on about 5.5 or 6. So maybe a little higher than half for most stoves. So now I've added my hamburger meat. I'm going to start breaking it up, and the water is really going to help with that. See how it's getting a little slushy on the bottom? That's good. It's going to help break it up. I want to mix it in. Now, we don't want our meat so broken up that it looks like grains of sand, like little tiny pebbles of meat in the pan. We want a few small chunks left in it. So when it's ready, I'll let you know and show you approximately what it should look like. For now, I'm going to continue stirring it like this and cook it until it's brown. We're almost there. You can still see bits of pink, and you really want it cooked all the way through. But this is just about perfect. So you can see there's still some nice chunks in there, like this one. That's how you want your spaghetti or lasagna sauce, or even soup sauce. And there we go. That's perfect. What I'm going to do now is drain off the water and the excess grease. You really don't want extra grease in your sauces. It'll just float around on the plate and make everything greasy. Okay, so now the grease and water are drained off. I'm actually going to let it sizzle on the bottom just a little bit. Finish drying off the meat. You can hear it sizzling now. You don't want to let it do this for long or it'll burn. But that's exactly what you want to hear. Okay. So now I'm going to add my big can of tomato sauce. For spaghetti, that's all the sauce you want. But for lasagna, you want a little bit more for those layers. So I'm adding the second smaller can. Remember, spaghetti 1 can, lasagna 2. Now even at this heat, this is going to start bubbling really quick and it'll splatter all over everything and make a mess. So we want to be quick. This is my onion powder. Make like a good half moon in there. Well, really more of a crescent moon, I suppose. But now for the garlic powder. Same thing. See? Alright. And now for the secret ingredient, we're going to do the same thing with a little bit of sugar. Alright. And now we're going to stir it all in. And I beat the boil so it's not splattering on me, thank goodness. Once it's good and thoroughly stirred, that's when you want to taste it and make sure it's not too garlicky, too much onion, too much sugar. It's always best to add too little and add more than to add too much, because you can't take it out once it's in. So now I'm going to give it a taste. Oh, that is perfect. All right, and now we're going to thicken it up. With our tomato paste. Oh, and it's starting to boil, as you can see. So now is the time to stir. We never want to let it burn on the bottom. That's why we're using a lower heat and why we're continually stirring. And now you just want it hot all the way through and all of the paste dissolved in. That'll take 5 to 10 minutes, give or take. You put a lid on it so it doesn't boil over. I prefer to watch it and stir. Anytime you leave it, there's a chance it'll burn. That's the same with anything. If you really want to make sure it ends up good, just keep an eye on it. Oh, and that's starting to look delicious. And there you go. Love you. Hope you enjoyed it, sweetie. And to anyone else watching this, love you too. Hope you enjoy your sauce.